What's going on, everybody? So this weekend is all about scouting more than you hunt. It's a little bit warm. I haven't been here in a few weeks. I'm out here in Kansas and I need to gather intel. And if you're looking for more of detailed content, I have a database of educational material over on Deer Hunter Academy. And this month's giveaway is a 1-hour consulting session where we're basically going to screen share, talk about all the questions you have, intel you've gathered. We'll look at your property and make sure that you know feel ultra comfortable going into the rut. Things are just now heating up, and any and all intel that you have gathered matters, and then it's a fantastic way to answer all of your questions really quick. So as always, thank y'all for your support. It is greatly appreciated. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We got a major cold front coming next week, and something that basically all of the big buck killers that you're ever going to talk about scouting more than you hunt, making sure you stay on fresh sign and making sure you make adjustments, stay mobile. Don't get set into one location and hoping that your buck shows up. So that's not something we do, and that's not a good way to increase your odds of success on these big mature animals. So we're getting after it. We're going to try to find some good sign, some good tracks, possibly scrapes and possibly rubs. Fingers crossed on that one. We should be finding something here at least. It's a pretty big area, and I have yet to run into some producing oaks yet. So that's going to be a big one that I got to try to figure out and find. So let's get after it. So we used this same tactic a couple weeks ago in Kentucky, and there we were able to shift around cameras and make some adjustments to more preferred food sources with green fields. Found some persimmons and white oaks, and started trying to key in a little bit more on fall bedding and the thickets. So taking that same technique here, minus the fact that we have an extreme amount of food available there that we don't have here. I mean, I can't for the life of me find a producing oak here right now. Mostly bur oaks out here. And I know last year was a very good crop. So I'm thinking that this year's an off year because oaks don't produce every single year. So not every oak. So I'm gonna keep working, see if I can find a preferred food source outside of, obviously, the bean fields have been cut and random browse. Not much you can key in on random browse. Found some really good sign, some concentrated sign, some rubs, tracks, and stuff that looks like a pretty good deer. So I'm gonna key in on that general area and bounce over to the other side today of that specific area, see what I can find, and prepare for this weekend. All right, so I want to talk real quick about discrete sign. It's what I'm dealing with right now. I have not been finding hardly any sign anywhere. No scrapes, no rubs really either, except for these few. Now, I've got really big tracks around, which means I know there's a mature buck in the area. And due to the fact that there's also no sign at all, I feel pretty confident in making a bet that this particular rub line I'm on is a mature buck's rub line. He's letting everybody know that he's in the area. He's not quite aggressive yet, but he's rubbing his forehead glands on the trees and leaving his scent around. and letting them know that he's here and communicating with them in that frame of sorts. So when things start to get more aggressive, either those same trees or some of these historical trees around are going to start getting rubbed up again. And I think one of the cedars over there, it's a historical rub. I think it is rubbed again. It looks like it's a little bit freshened up and there's some sap on it. So I feel pretty confident making a guess that that is probably a freshened up rub. And it's amongst, you know, 5 other rubs here. So on this line, but don't pass over a sign like this sometimes. If you're not finding anything, the small sign means something. So be sure to mark it and pay attention to it and come back to it later on also when things start heating up and getting a little bit more aggressive. I bet the sign dramatically picks up in that specific area and here where I'm at. So just a little fun fact, don't just skip over the small stuff. And I'm telling you also, they're chest high rubs, which also means that it's a pretty good sized buck. So in order for a buck to get to a tree that tall, rub a tree up that high, it's got to be a pretty decent deer. So don't just walk past the small stuff. If you're not finding anything, the small stuff means something. All right, well, that was a very fruitful weekend. It was quick, really kind of non-eventful per se, but we collected some seriously good intel. I would rather have not hunted this weekend because it was warm and pretty low quality sits compared to this coming weekend. We've got massive cold fronts. Collect your data, get the heck out. That is a fantastic route to take. Come in when the odds are significantly higher to not only see the deer you're after, but possibly get a shot on him here during daylight. So be careful about how often you hunt. I got a great example here, a buddy of mine with Freedom Outfitters. I've been posting about him a little bit. He just harvested, he had a client harvest a mega giant, a 200-inch just mega giant, and he ended up being, you know, number 10 overall at Buckmasters and number 2 in Kansas for crossbow irregular. And this is a 3-year journey to harvest this deer. Now here's the significance about this buck, is that I was hunting with this particular client an opening weekend of September, and we had an encounter with this buck and he busted us. He busted our access trail. And then on day 2, something else, we got a swirl, just a random swirl. And something else busted us from that exact same direction. Don't know what it is, didn't see it. But that night we decided to get out of there and not come back until a camera showed that we needed to come back. So about 3 weeks later, this buck showed back up. Chad went in and shot that buck. So that is private property. That's not what I'm used to hunting when it comes to public. So even on private property, it shows you cannot overhunt your sits. If we continued hunting that location, more than likely we would have probably just went ahead and pushed that deer off onto the neighbor's property, and you may not have even seen that buck ever again until the rut, you know, November time. So if that doesn't go to show how serious you need to be about controlling your hunting pressure, I don't know what does. That is as big of a deer as you're ever going to kill, and it's pretty exciting. I'm pretty pumped for them that they were able to get that buck down. So thanks for watching, y'all. Keep an eye out. Things are heating up. Massive cold front coming this next weekend, and we are pumped. So please hit that like and subscribe button. See you on the next video.